When I was 8 years old, my grandmother moved in to take care of me because my mother was actually 17 when I was born. So my grandma moved in and she bought a beautiful 100-year-old German iron frame piano. And I just fell madly in love with it. All I ever wanted to do was learn to play it. My mum showed me the staff and stave and where all the notes were and how that translated in terms of music, so I could read the manuscript, and I taught myself to play Für Elise in about 6 weeks. So they figured they probably should get me some piano lessons. So that was how I sort of fell in love with the piano. I did all the classical training. All I ever really wanted to do was to write my own music. That was the thing that I loved the most, just sort of that idea of synchronicity, being able to tell stories and put my thoughts and emotions down at the piano. I think everybody's probably different. You know, some people do it with a pen and paper, and for me, just to be able to sit down and put feelings and emotions down as a piece of music, to me that made sense right from when I was 8 years old. I was composing and writing music. My parents loved music. My dad was Jesus in Superstar. So I grew up with a lot of music in the house, but the piece of music that captivated me the most was Ravel's Bolero. My dad had vinyl and he had a great record collection. He listened to all the crooners, you know, Barbra Streisand, lots and lots of great music, but he also had some classical music there as well. And I used to lie in front of the speakers and listen to Bolero over and over and over again and try and deconstruct the instruments as they came in and then left, and sort of try and work out how it got so much emotion into the music with the different rhythms and the different instruments. And I, you know, still think about that piece of music today. It's still quite sort of, it was formative in terms of me being a composer. Oh gosh, the first vinyl that I bought was Band on the Run, Paul McCartney and Wings, and I loved it, and I played it until literally I wore it out. I loved it so much. I thought it was just absolutely wonderful. Well, I've got different purposes because I'm editing music. For me, if I really want to find different music and study different things, I'll use Spotify. Shame on me. But I do have a subscription, which is $3.20. I don't like listening to compressed music. So that's for work purposes, and also for editing and practicing concerts. It comes in very handy. I really like to listen to music on my good stereo system upstairs. I have an SACD player and I have a nice collection of SACDs. I don't have 5.1 surround sound, just the stereo, but that's absolutely my preference, is SACD. My musical goals, just to find a place in this crazy music industry that allows me to continue as a professional full-time musician. I love this job. I love doing it. I don't know how to do anything else. I can't imagine not writing music, but to be able to continue working and monetize what I do is really, it's my biggest goal, just to be able to keep going, I guess. I mean, I'd love to be able to play in Sydney Opera House. There's lots of places I'd love to perform. So I guess that would be another one of my goals, Sydney Opera House. Yeah. The first 3 albums that I did, because I lived in rural Australia, were on a keyboard. And then I went to Imaginary Road Studios with Will Ackerman and I recorded Blue Dream. And Bob Ludwig mastered that album, and he said, Fiona, I really would love to hear this album mixed into 5.1 surround sound, and I'd really like you to look into that. So I sort of spent quite a bit of time studying the various formats and how I could make that happen. And so Blue Dream was remixed into 5.1 surround sound, Christmas Joy, 600 Years in a Moment. And from there I went on to record with Blue Coast Music. And I did a number of solo piano albums, which I recorded. One of them I recorded to tape, and the other one to DSD, and they're available on SACD, stereo, not 5.1. So I have quite a collection of SACDs now. This is a Stuart and Sons piano. I don't know how much of it you can see. Maybe you can do a little bit of panning to be able to see the piano. It's absolutely just an exquisite thing to be able to play. It's got 97 keys. It's the second piano Wayne Stewart ever made, and it's made from Tasmanian hew and pine, which is quite a rare wood. It's got 4 pedals. It's got a patented tuning system where there's a tuning peg. So it kind of goes, the idea is that tuning follows the tuning peg. So it goes off to the distance and to the right, which is how it's kind of wound on a piano. But in this case, it goes up and over. So if you listen to the decay of a note and you just really, really listen, there's no bend in the decay of a note. So on a normal piano, you'll hear it go off into the distance and you'll hear the bend. You can actually listen to it turning the corner. Well, that doesn't happen with this piano. So you get these incredible, long, beautiful harmonics, and as a composer that gives you a whole different dimension to work with. Plus I've got 97 keys. Oh, gee, I really worry that there's so many young people that are listening to really compressed audio files through earbuds. Look after your ears. You only get one set of ears. You know, listen to good music, listen to it on a good sound system. Don't listen to really compressed files. If you really love music, it's definitely worth thinking about an upgrade as to how you listen to music. We've got so many options these days with streaming. You can listen to really low quality, or you can go all the way up to Tidal or Qobuz. I'm not sure how you say that. I know some people say Qobuz, but I believe that that's probably the highest streaming that we have available at the moment. Go as high as you can. Absolutely, take out a subscription, listen to good sound. I guess the difference is doing a studio album or recording in Cookie's environment, which is pretty much one take, single take. It's like doing a live performance, and I really enjoy doing that because you get so much sort of positive energy from that environment, from recording a piece of music in one take. I love the way Cookie records. I love her piano. She's got a beautiful old Steinway, and it's just a very different experience to a studio recording, which is very, I'm not ever going to say the word sanitized, but it's very different. It's very precision, very perfect. You know, you're layering different instrumentals, and it's just a completely different experience. But I love working with Cookie Marenko, and I love Blue Coast music. It's been one of the best experiences of my life, recording with Cookie.